period of civil war, the spaceships of the rebels, striking swift from base unseen, have gained a victory over the cruel galactic empire, now adrift. Amidst the battle, rebel spies prevailed and stole the plans to a space station vast, whose powerful beams will later be unveiled and crush a planet into the Death Star blast. Pursued by agents sinister and cool, now Princess Leia to her home doth flee, delivering plans and a new hope they hold of bringing freedom to the galaxy. In time so long ago begins our play, in star-crossed galaxy far, far away. Okay, class. So, I mentioned last week that we were going to be using Shakespeare's Star Wars Verily a New Hope to practice our use of context clues with new words and to also practice point of views, changing perspectives on stories, and how that affects a story depending on whose point of view you're reading from. So first things first, about a month ago we talked about different narrative points of view, first person, second person, third person. So say you're walking down the street and you trip, bump into someone. From your point of view, you're like, oops, I tripped. From that person's point of view, they could think, hey, why'd you just attack me? And then get in a huge, that's actually happened to me one time where I bumped into a guy and he thought I was trying to fight him. And I quickly had to talk my way out of it. Luckily, I wasn't wearing this outfit, because then it might have been bad for me. All right, so that's good. Does anybody else have any other examples? Anyone? Well, I almost saw a hand up over there. Okay, well, moving on. How can we figure out what a new word means if we don't have a dictionary and we don't have a vocabulary wizard like myself to help you? How do you figure out a new word without using the dictionary or asking someone? Sahiti.
We use context clues.
Context clues. Can someone give me an example of what a context clue is? How do you use context clues? Rachi.
We use the words around that word to figure out what the word means.
Yes, that's good. You basically use the sentence or even a whole paragraph to figure out what the word means in the context. So on the board here, I have actually a part of the script from Star Wars Shakespeare Verily a New Hope. So this says, a family so kind and full of love, good, steady work, and vast, abundant crops. Why would one give up all this gentle life for that one beastly word, adventure? 5. So what words in this have you guys never even heard of before, or you guys don't know the meaning? Megan?
5.
5. So he says 5. I don't know where my marker is.
Container right there.
All right. So he says phi at the end. After, what did he say right before that? For that one beastly word, adventure. Phi, yells phi. So does this sound like this person has a positive view on adventure?
No.
No? So then what do you think if someone says, yells a word? Say if I was like, this soup is disgusting. Phi! What do you think phi means? First of all, you think I might be kind of crazy if I was eating soup and I screamed phi, because this is an old English word. But what do you think phi would mean? And why would one give up all this gentle life for that one beastly word, adventure? Phi! Amber.
Stupid or lame?
Stupid or lame? Well, would you scream the word lame?
Yes.
Yeah, you just lame! Okay, well, that's close. So you guys are getting that as negative.
Darn.
Basically, that's a good example, Rayla. It's basically kind of almost a swear word in Old English. If someone, would yell darn or shoot or something. Let's say you stub your toe. Or, I don't think any of you would be hammering nails, but say one of you was hammering nails and then hit your thumb.
Oh.
If you were speaking in Old English, you would probably scream "fi." See? So using context clues now, we have an idea of what "fi" means. Now, does everybody know what "steady" means?
Yes. Yes.
Family.
Yeah.
Beastly.
Yes.
But how could a word be beastly? Chandika.
Like anything beastly could ruin something.
Yeah, that's a good. Basically, beastly kind of, means something undesirable. Like, would you want to eat a beastly pizza? Still working? Would you want to eat a beastly pizza?
No. Never,
Unless
ever.
I went to Mountain Mike's or something, and there was something on the menu that said ultra pepperoni beastly extra large. Like, that sounds pretty good, actually. But if I went somewhere and this old British man, it looked like William Shakespeare, yelled, "This pizza is beastly," I don't think I'd want to try that pizza. Well, good job, guys. Good job. So, I want to give you some backstory on William, or as I like to call him, Bill Shakespeare. Does anybody know who he is? I'm sure you've heard of him. Well, of course you have, because I told you about it, right? But does anybody actually know who he is? What country he's from? When he lived? First of all, who can just say what country he's from? Andrew.
Well, I don't know what country he's from, but was he like a swordsman or something? Like person who
He wasn't really a swordsman, no. He comes from a time where there were a lot of men that used swords. So you have that right. You have the right idea. I guess we should go back. Yeah, before we say where he's from, when he lived, what did he do? Chandika.
He wrote plays.
He wrote plays. Do you guys know what the name for that is? Someone who writes plays? It's actually pretty easy if you think about it. I'm giving you all of the words in the name. Someone who writes plays. Megan?
A playwright, I think.
Yes, but you actually get rid of one part of it. This is known Rachi? Playwright. So he was a playwright and a poet. In what country? Anybody know? I'll give you a hint. Harry Potter lived there. Ethan?
United Kingdom.
Yes, the UK, United Kingdom, England. And I doubt you guys are going to know when he was around. But one of you might, so I'm going to give you guys a shot. Raven.
He was around in the olden times because he used olden language in his books.
Yes, Old English, which is what it was called. That is good, but when? I mean, when you say old, 1000 BC, 200 AD, or way later than that? Amber?
1500s.
Yes, I think you got that from looking, or did you actually know that?
I just guessed. 15 is my lucky number.
I'm incredibly impressed, because that's actually the right answer. Good job. I was not expecting any of you to know that. The late 1500s and early 1600s is when all of his plays were famous. I'm sure you guys have heard of these. Romeo and Juliet,
Yeah.
Totally.
Hamlet,
Yes.
Macbeth,
Yes.
That one's like unlucky or something, right?
Midsummer Night's Dream, that's a good one. Has anyone heard of Taming the Shrew?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. These are all Shakespeare plays. Another one that I really like that's not quite as popular was A Lot Ado About Nothing.
It's much.
Oh, much ado.
Much Ado About Nothing. Sorry. Yeah, I was like, wait, A Lot Ado About Nothing. That doesn't sound right. Much Ado About Nothing. So Rachi, as I'm looking at the camera, Rachi knows Shakespeare pretty well. I'm impressed. Okay. So, narrators. When Shakespeare did his plays, the narrator usually was omniscient. If a narrator is omniscient, What do you think that means? Does anyone have any idea what omniscient means? Any context clues or anything? Angelina.
He's like a professional at it.
It's a really good guess. You guys want to guess or want me to give you a hint?
Yes.
I'm going to give a hint. I'm going to give a hint. Yeah. So, if a narrator is omniscient, they know what's going on in everyone's heads. And they know what's everything going on in the story. So what do you think omniscient means, the actual word? Hannah?
Fortune teller.
I guess a fortune teller could potentially be omniscient. But no, what does omniscient mean? Let me unpack this word a little bit for you girls. And two boys. What do you think omni means? Does anybody have any idea what omni means? I'll give you this one. Omni means all. Okay? So omni means all. Now think about science. The pursuit of knowledge. What do you think scient means? Rishita.
Oh my. Oh my.
All, sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing.
Mine.
All minds? Okay, well, the word that I'm looking for has to do with the mind, but it's not quite all minds. Rachi.
Can I guess what the word means?
Yeah.
It means they know everything.
Yeah, so all, if you know everything, all,
Knowledge. Brains.
yeah, but how'd you say it? Would you say, wow, he is all knowledge? Or would you say he is all
Brains.
knowing?
Knowing
Knowing is what I was looking for. Yeah, you're close. I can't tell if you said that right after me or not. Omniscient means all knowing, okay? So, if you're writing from the specific point of view of someone, so if there was an omniscient narrator in the classroom, they would know exactly what was going on in my brain, what was going on in Ethan's brain, in Miss Annika's brain. They would know everything. But if we suddenly wrote the story from my point of view, would I know what was going on in Reva's mind right now?
No.
Would I be able to read Reva's mind?
No.
All I know is what I see and am experiencing, right? What I'm seeing with my five senses. So Reva looks like she's paying attention, interested. She has a little bit of a smile that she's trying to hide behind her hand right now. But I don't know what's actually going on in her head because I'm not omniscient. Okay? So I'm going to give you guys examples of these scripts. You're going to go through on your own. You're going to read through. You're going to get a separate sheet of paper I'm going to pass out. You're going to write down any unfamiliar words. Okay? Once you're done reading through that, we as a class are going to try to figure out what those words mean. And then potentially at the end of today, or if we run out of time on Friday, we're actually going to go ahead and act out the skits. Once we're done with that, you're actually going to rewrite the script. Not only translating it into modern English, so changing a word like fi into something like shucks or darn or curses. Any kind of not actual bad exclamation. And you're going to rewrite it from a specific character's point of view. So let's say there's a scene with Darth Vader threatening Princess Leia. You could rewrite that scene just from Princess Leia's point of view. Okay? Any questions? Nope? You guys are good to go?
Yes.
All right?
Yep.
Then we will go ahead and start.